Tucker Carlson just platformed Christian nationalist, self-proclaimed incel, anti-Semite, Holocaust denier Nick Fuentes, and it has started a MAGA civil war. A few years ago, Fuentes was banned from every major platform on the internet. He was blacklisted from CPAC. He was even shunned by all of the people in the Trump circle after confusingly dining at Mar-a-Lago with Kanye West. And if you still don't remember him or haven't heard of him before, I think this clip is probably the perfect way to sum up how Nick Fuentes thinks. So let's take a look at that.
Hitler was a pedophile and kind of a pagan. It's like, well, he was also really fucking cool. So, time to grow up. We're not children anymore. Am I right? Am I right? Am I right, boys? Am I right? Let's go. He was also really fucking cool. And any boy knows that. Anybody that watches these videos where he's rolling down the street and stuff, it's like, this guy's awesome. This guy's cool.
That tells you just about everything you need to know about him. And this week he was sitting across from one of the biggest, most influential voices in the conservative movement, which shows the absolutely terrifying progression of the conservative movement and conservative media giving oxygen and face time to people with the most dangerous views in our country. And one of the most interesting things about this too, and someone like Fuentes, is there's no consistency in their viewpoints at all. They just sort of hate everything and want to watch the world burn and don't like anyone or any group of people, and they spend their whole time in these really dark, hateful parts of the internet. And so the center of their beliefs are more hate than anything else. Like during his interview this week with Tucker Carlson, he talked about how much he loves Joseph Stalin. So let's play that quickly so you can see it.
Like late December. It's actually funny. It was December 18th. I remember because that's an important date to me. And it's Joseph Stalin's birthday.
Oh.
I'm a fan.
You're a fan of Stalin's?
Mm-hmm. Always an admirer. But we don't need to go into that. I guess.
Well, that's okay. Let's get back. We'll circle back to that.
And that's the thing. What ties so many of these fringe, well, I guess what used to be fringe far-right people who are now just mainstream in the conservative movement, what those people used to be unified by politics or shared politics, now they're not shared. They don't share anything other than a love of authoritarianism and a worship of power. Like, it's pretty funny that for all of the insults that conservatives love to lob at Democrats for being quote unquote communists, this person that is part of their movement, one of his favorite people is one of the most famous communists that's ever lived. And so that's what's crazy about this. It has nothing to do with policy or making the world better or any of those views. It is this belief that other races, non-white races, are inferior, and that women are supposed to be, that women are inferior to men. Like, that is the unifying thing for these people. And it's crazy to watch someone like Tucker Carlson, who, yes, he is off the reservation, off the deep end, but it was really stunning to watch him talk to somebody like this in an interview and normalize them and make it seem like the things they say and think are completely okay and above board, and even embrace that line of thinking themselves. And that is what Tucker Carlson did when they were talking about women today. So I want to show that to you. It's a little shocking.
A lot of men are looking at women and they're very liberal. They're overweight. They have a very high estimation of themselves. I think that people call it hoflation.
Hoflation?
Yes, their sense of their own looks and sexual value is very inflated. And so a lot of people are looking at these like frumpy, obnoxious, loudmouth, liberal women who are also very promiscuous and saying this is not actually appealing at all. And I don't want to start a family with a person
Sounds
like
awful.
this. Yeah, it is.
But if you believe in the patriarchy, as I fervently do, because it's just reality, We didn't choose the system. We were born into a system that is part of nature, can't get out of it. So if you believe that that's true, which it is, then you think that men should lead. And if it's going to be better, men should make it better because that's their job.
Right.
And this part of the conversation around women is sort of where this MAGA civil war has really begun. And I'll be honest, to me, they look like two sides of the same coin. Like on one side, you have sort of these Turning Point USA type and the types of people that were inspired by Charlie Kirk, who really praised these outdated 1950s gender roles with Instagram filters and Bible quotes thrown in, and those people claim that they're preaching about, in the trad wife movement basically is about female empowerment. But for some reason, that female empowerment to them still includes women submitting to their husbands. And then on the other side, you have sort of these incel reactionaries who spend way too much time in their mom's basements, and people like Nick Fuentes who are openly hostile to women and reject marriage and family entirely and blame everything on women. And, it's interesting to me. It's like both of these are toxic, and both of these outlooks are about control, and neither of them actually reflect what women in America actually want, which is just agency, respect, equality, and the freedom to define their own lives. I think the two conservative viewpoints here of women are both wrong and outdated and not what people want. And I think that's why conservatives are panicking in this moment, is they're watching someone like Nick Fuentes get more airtime, and it's ruining the kind of 1950s nostalgic polish of subservient women that this other part of the conservative movement has tried to spin together. And they're worried about it kind of giving up and blowing their cover. And I think the next thing that has been fascinating about this is the people that have come to defend Tucker Carlson platforming a white supremacist like Nick Fuentes. And I want to show you a clip of the Heritage Foundation president, Kevin Roberts. And Heritage Foundation is a generationally major influential conservative think tank. It has defined conservative policy and thinking for decades back to the Reagan era. And this is what the Heritage Foundation president had to say about this interview just yesterday. Let's take a look.
I'll have more to say on this in the coming days, but today I want to be clear about one thing. Christians can critique the state of Israel without being anti-Semitic. And of course, anti-Semitism should be condemned. My loyalty as a Christian and as an American is to Christ first and to America always. When it serves the interests of the United States to cooperate with Israel and other allies, we should do so, with partnerships on security, intelligence, and technology. But when it doesn't, conservatives should feel no obligation to reflexively support any foreign government, no matter how loud the pressure becomes from the globalist class or from their mouthpieces in Washington. The Heritage Foundation didn't become the intellectual backbone of the conservative movement by canceling our own people or policing the consciences of Christians. And we won't start doing that now.
This take is so stunning to me. And it's honestly the part that should scare people the most. Is a lot of this stuff used to be confined to the furthest, fringiest parts of the internet previously. And now you have these institutional conservative bodies defending and endorsing having these people in their movement. And that is what is so crazy to me is these people looking at white supremacy and anti-Semitism and racism and sexism and saying, well, that's just a difference of opinion or a difference of policy. It is not. Those ideologies are abhorrent and they are unworthy of debate. They shouldn't even be in our realm of thinking. Yet you have conservatives these days saying, well, that's just how they feel. That's just part of the Christian conscience. What Christian conscience endorses that type of thinking? And that is what we see the conservative movement do time and again, is hide behind the veil of Christianity to justify terrible ideology. And, for decades, conservatives said this wasn't us. And now we're watching them openly embrace it. The fringe runs the show now, and the institutions built to shape Republican policy are holding the door open for them, and that should scare us all. That is it for me today. If you liked what you saw, throw a like on this video, follow the Dem Wins Media YouTube channel, follow me at buildingthebench.substack.com. I've got a couple of interviews with different Democratic congressmen and women coming out this week, so take a look at that. And we will keep bringing you the news here as you need to see it. Thanks for watching and have a great weekend.